Straight down.
Hunters magazine has travelled to South Africa to hunt kudu in two very different locations, where these large antelopes are found in very diverse conditions. We'll be hunting up in the eroded mountains in the southernmost part of the country and out on the open, dense savanna in the northernmost province. We start our hunt for the large, iconic kudu in the mountains in Eastern Cape, where the males with their long spiral horns are the rulers of the peaks and the dense vegetation, which renders impossible any attempt at silent advance. So the only useful approach is to set off quietly on the winding gravel roads and scour the landscape for the shadow of a large ear or the tip of a twisted horn. The hunt has been organised by the Danish company Matswani Safaris, who have expanded their repertoire with this southern gem, owned by the Sparg family.
With the top section, and this is about 6,000 hectares.
What kind of vegetation and animals do you got here?
Lots of speckbloom. Lots of speckbloom I've planted myself. I've camped it off so the game can't get into it and eat it, and it's doing very well. And we've had beautiful rains. Game, there's a lot of antelope, and we don't have the big five, and we don't have many cats on the farm, only for caracal.
It's a homestay, so you live under the same roof as Nolan and his charming wife Dawn. They've been married for 47 years. Dawn is in charge of the rustic food that is beyond your wildest dreams.
I love doing that because I enjoy people. I enjoy their different formalities, their different cultures, and it's actually so nice to hear what you people do in your country. So I really do enjoy it.
Even on our first day of hunting, we're lucky to make contact with the kudu on several occasions. But the first and second time, they're only females and young bulls. Karsten Rettig is on the hunt. Two of us are hunters, and there is one professional hunter. And that can actually be an advantage, both in terms of the actual hunt and because later you have some shared hunting experiences.
In Africa, you can choose between hunting yourself with a professional hunter or 2 to 1, as it's explained. It means that you are 2 hunters, could be companion fellows or just somebody new pal that you team up with, and 1 professional hunter. And in most occasions, you split the opportunities. So if you take 1 opportunity, then your pal, he is taking the next one. In other parts of the world, you probably want to have all the chances yourself. But in common Africa, when you're hunting plains game like we are right now, there is so much game and so many chances that you will have some cozy hours and some nice days. And maybe you will even meet new people. And maybe it's a new friend for life that just jump in the seat beside you when you jump in the safari vehicle. And there's another very nice thing about hunting 2 to 1. It is that it's a little bit cheaper, so you can actually strengthen your budget if you hunt 2 to 1. That's a brilliant idea when you are in Africa hunting plains game.
In advance, we made the necessary preparations, weighing our luggage to make sure it was light enough for a trip south of the equator. We also zeroed our rifles on the shooting range at home in ideal conditions at a distance of 100 meters and just a few meters above sea level. The day we arrive, once again we check the zeroing in the new setting, which is between 1,100 and 1,600 meters above sea level. The change in pressure means we have to make small adjustments in the height of the zeroing. The zeroing here is also done at a distance of 100 meters. Finally, we check the precision at 200 meters. That means we're ready to go hunting for Africa's grey ghost.
See the red flowers in front of you? Yeah. Look just over the top of the red flowers. He's looking back at us. He's facing us. Got him there? Yeah, yes. Okay, you see he's at 255. Okay. Looking at us, you see the end of his muzzle. Yeah. Slightly down here, I think. If you can aim about 2 inches below the end of his snout. Yeah. Okay. That should hit it down in the base of the neck. Yeah. Okay. Straight for the center of the chest. Yeah. When you're ready then. Okay. I'm shooting. Straight down.
Now I'm shaking. Just when I start pressing that trigger, I could feel that everything was coming up.
Yep.
So then you really need to make the decision. Okay, it's now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And see what our new super slow-motion camera caught. The projectile on its way to the Kudu, which is standing 1/4 kilometer from the muzzle of the rifle. See how the bullet levels off about 40 centimeters before it hits the Kudu in the chest.
Very nicely done, sir. It was a great start.
It was brilliant done. Thank you very much.
Well, it helps when you can shoot, I think. A perfect shot. I think if you're looking properly, if I probably hit him just top of the chest,
I think so.
where the neck joins in here,
Yeah.
and he went straight down.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
250.
that's cool. But I think it's happened so often in Africa that the animals is actually looking straight at you.
Yep.
And there's no chance, I think there was no chance that he would start turning his side broadside.
Not
to
at
us.
all. If he had have turned, there was no shot. That would have been
Because he was...
that was pack up and go home, I think. So, try again after lunch.
Yeah. That's a nice walk.
This challenging trip then proceeds into the bushes and down to the dead kudu. It's an overwhelming sight, both at a distance and particularly when you get your first close-up look at it.
This is a nice ball. This is a beautiful animal. It is for sure the emperor of the African kingdom. I know the lion, he's the king, but this is the emperor. Wow. His head is crowned with this beautiful horn. And it ends in this white tip up here.
Yo! That guy!
Amazing. Absolutely. Breathless. Speechless. Amazing.
We're still hunting kudu in South Africa and have just bagged a beautiful, powerful specimen of the Cape kudu species. Now the trip continues to the northernmost province of the country in search of the local kudu race, which differ from their southern cousins in one respect. So let's just start at the end, the comparison. First, the explanation of the difference, here given by Matswani's chief hunter, Herman Lubbe. Notice the twinkle in his eye.
You know, when the first people come in this country, they started in the Cape in the south, the Holland and all the rest that followed. And then the British tried to take over and tried to manage the Cape, and they took over. But all the rebels, the strong, the people moved up north with the ox wagons, and they were hunters and farmers. And all the animals that were strong enough moved up north with them, and they'd come and make a living. They didn't want to be under the British Empire. Until today they were not under the British Empire. So that is why you get the big Kudu and the big Afrikaner people up in north in Limpopo. All the sick and the weak and the British, they're down in the south, eastern Cape side.
Brilliant explanation.
There you have it. And I even show you now the difference.
Yeah, let's have a look.
The fact is, all things being equal, that the Cape kudu have slightly smaller bodies. Their coat is a slightly different colour, and their lower legs are almost yellow. And usually, the Cape kudu have a slightly smaller horn embellishment. So now, we'll compare the horns of the Cape kudu with the horns of the Limpopo kudu, which you will soon see us hunting. First, we measure the length of the Cape kudu's horns. They always measure this in inches in this part of the world.
38, 39. What does the tape tell you?
Tell me 44 and a half.
44 and a half. Yeah. Is that a big cape or
That is
average?
a good representative, and it's a very nice shape, very nice.
Yeah.
And now also the interesting will be the base of this kudu, because for the Safari Club International measurement method, you have to have both the lengths and the bases.
Yeah.
9 inches. So for Safari Club International, you have to count the length of both horns and the bases, the circumference of both. So you have 9, and 9 is 18, 43 and 44 and a half. And then you will have your score together to see if you are where you are standing in it. But the Cape kudu and the greater kudu are in 2 different categories also.
Yeah.
Then we measure the local kudu from the Limpopo district, according to exactly the same principle.
Some hunters, they're bringing the tape on the ground in the bush when they are hunting.
Yes, you get that.
Does it put any pressure on you guys?
Yeah. he will say that, but you know we are professional. What can you see there?
I can see, I would say, let me just do like this. I would say it's
54.
54.
Horns of about 45 inches on the Cape kudu and almost 10 inches longer on the more northern species from Limpopo. Local experience suggests the results achieved here are just about adequate when looked at in terms of averages.
Also 11 inches. So and this is a nice representative kudu, and I think you can be proud of it. You did a good shot, it was a good hunt, and there's a very nice trophy with the tips going outside. It is a ghost.
Explain.
Yes, one day you see it and one day they're gone. They're a huge animal. The body weight of this kudu was about 400 kilo. And it's a huge animal. If you move in the bush, you will see nothing. And then suddenly it's there or not. The hunters come to Africa and everybody wants a kudu, but some go home without it. This kudu is 10 years old. For 10 years it avoided the hunters and nobody could kill it. So they're quite clever. Big ears, fantastic eyesight, good smell, so they're very, very clever. And if you think a huge animal like this, you see it and then it's gone. You can sit and wait for it in a mountain whole day seeing nothing, and then suddenly it's there. You don't know where did they come from or where have they been.
It just popped up from the
They're
African
there
soil.
and gone,
Yeah.
yes. That's why we say it's the grey ghost, because it's so clever and it's the most beautiful animal but so difficult to hunt.
As we all know, hunting is understood backwards, but must be lived out forwards. But in this instance, we can turn the whole plot round and begin with the ending. Though the powerful kudu was shot, we're having great difficulty finding him.
I heard the bullet when it hit the body.
That's one of the advantages of shooting with a silencer, apart from the fact that the recoil is muted and the noise is not so violent and the animals don't get scared and the sound vanishes faster. So even at a distance like this of 100 meters, you can hear when the bullet hits the animal. So there's no doubt that the kudu was hit. It's in situations like this that you find out whether you're a hunter or just a tourist with a weapon. This is when you get an opportunity to look into the deepest recesses of your hunter's soul and contemplate whether it's acceptable to shoot an animal. Because we know for sure that sooner or later you'll make a mistake. Sometimes the searches become too long, and other times you never find the animal. It can't be avoided when you go hunting. The question is whether it's acceptable. The question is whether you can endure it when things go wrong. But if you can't, then you're not a hunter. Then you're just someone who disguises himself as a hunter to experience something of the joy and enthusiasm and rush. But this is the other side of the coin, and you have to be able to endure that as well. Otherwise, there's no point. And we'll keep going until we find the kudu or discover what happened. Now, Herman and I are walking with 100 meters between us through the bushes here to see if we can find just one small drop of blood. But we haven't found it yet. Even though we both agree that the animal was shot, maybe we're following the wrong track. But the tracks right over there, where Herman's walking, are totally fresh kudu tracks from an animal that was running. Then there was a signal. We walk back. I get a thumbs up. Something suggests that we have been following the wrong track.
Samuel found him.
Was he dead?
Long time. This, I was thinking we are on the track, there's no blood, there's no sign. I said to him, go back and circle, we are missing.
Good idea.
Unbelievable.
I had the feeling that we were on another kudu's track.
Yes.
But I didn't say it.
No, we have to try, we have to follow.
Yeah.
No, we have circled there and we haven't found anything there.
No.
And we walk and walk and walk, and we know it's a perfect shot. I could see when your bullet hit it.
Yeah.
This kudu cannot be far from where you shot it. So I was very concerned. That's why my tracker, Samuel, he did a good job. We have to make it a little bit of excitement for him.
He did a good job because we did a bad job.
No, but it's good.
Yeah.
It was an investigation.
It was. couldn't find any blood, and everybody was starting to be concerned. And then Herman, he got that brilliant idea to send back Samuel the tracker and see if we have just missed a dead animal somewhere. And here he is lying dead, and he has been dead for a long time. The shot placement is absolutely perfect. It's bubbling a little bit because the lungs have been hit, and up here with the mouth and nose there's a lot of fresh reddish blood. It's full of oxygen, but this fellow, he don't need it anymore. He's dead, a beautiful death, I would say, just in his surroundings. And compared to a natural death that will take weeks and weeks, this was a very, very fast one.
So here are the crucial seconds. We abandon the sticks, knowing that it will end with a short, quick shot with Herman's broad shoulders as a rock-solid rest. The Kudu takes the bullet hard. What we don't see is that it runs a few meters and falls on its head in the bush, where to our relief, we find it half an hour later.